Yeah, what the come here for now? We live. What the come here for now? One second, let's pull it up. We're back on the YouTube, or we're still on it? Lifted the ban. Shalom, Yahweh, Shabbat.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh.
Give me 1 second. You see all them bands though, they add up in it. Like, you know, when you get a band on Facebook, they have you list the bands why you got banned. You see it? Yeah, the band me the other day, but I disputed it and they said we're sorry for removing your comment. Yeah, because I didn't even say nothing wrong that time. Disputed it and they said we're sorry. Like, there was some Edomite and some East Indian on there. The East Indian was justifying why they have these sex rings. He goes, well, if you didn't, if you didn't kick your daughter, he goes, if you didn't kick your daughters out and we couldn't get them just by buying them cider and a pack of fags, they wouldn't be working in our what's it called? He justified it. He justified it. I was like, damn. All right, Shalom Israel. We're gonna go into interracial marriage today. We're gonna go into some precepts, not your average ones. We're gonna go into a few different ones that you probably may not know. We're gonna go into what our forefathers' thought process was and the righteous ones, and how they went with no interracial marriage, and how they used to give their kids to what their own kindred. Like, it's always been a thing where with us, it's always been a thing where you marry your own kindred. This interracial marriage and stuff is new and it's disgusting. This is new and disgusting. Whereas back in the days, these things, it was rare and it was never ever right. And this is why the Lord did what? Flooded the whole earth, because people wanted to mix. The sons of God wanted to mix with the sons of men. So God flooded the earth, man. And all them waters and them borders, man, was to keep you out of other people's land from taking their women, man. That's why there's borders and so forth. And this is why people what? This is why the Lord split up the earth in their families. The earth was split up in families. Like you and your family would go there. You and your family would go there. Him and his family would go there. And this is your family. This is the people that you mingle with. This is the people that they mingle with. There's never this all of us come together. All of us, be with whoever you want. It's never been like that. But if I could, give me Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1. So we're going to start off with Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1. So this is the first book in the Bible.
Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age.
And Abraham was what?
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age.
And Abraham was old, man. Meaning what? When you're well stricken in age, it means you're old, man. And you're going to die any day soon, man. That's what it's talking about. Abraham was old and well stricken in age. Go ahead.
And the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things.
And the Lord blessed Abraham with all things, man. Abraham knew about what? Inheritance and what he wanted to pass on to his children after him. And he knew what benefits you get from serving God. Abraham knew all of these things. Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord Yahweh of heaven and the God of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites.
So Abraham's dying wish was what, man? Abraham's dying wish was what? That his son don't take a daughter of the Canaanites, man. Abraham didn't want his son to marry no damn African man. That was Abraham's dying wish. Abraham said, put your hand on my thigh and promise me this. Like that. So Abraham's telling his head servant, promise me this, man. They're going to make an oath and whatnot, that my son don't take a daughter of the Canaanites. And this is how it should be, man. We need to teach our sons the same thing. Don't marry no heathens. Don't marry no next nation's daughters. Teach our daughters, don't marry no next nation's sons. That's what we need to do, man. Read on.
that dwell among whom I dwell. But thou shalt go into my
He
country.
said, among who I dwell. Now, Abraham dwelt amongst Canaanites. Why? Because Abraham had to leave his kindred. The Lord told him, leave this place and go and dwell here. And then he said, everywhere what you're looking at, this land is going to be yours. So Abraham left his dwelling place with his kindred. And then Abraham moved there. And where Abraham was, you had what? Canaanites around him. You had African nations around him. Abraham said, don't make my son marry one of these African women, man. And that's the same spirit we should be in today. Not making our kids interracial marry. We shouldn't be interracial marrying. Like, we need to keep our strength and our inheritance amongst ourselves, man. That's what we need to do, man. Read on.
But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac.
And he goes, you go to my kindred, man. And he goes, you go to my kindred, and you take a wife unto my son Isaac. Now, there's so much women, man, Israelite women that you could have, man. Why do you need to go? Why do you need to go outside of your nation, man? You don't need to go outside of your nation. There's so much Israelite women, man, that you can have. You got 12 tribes of women. You don't need no damn African women, no Canaanite, no Chinese woman, no white woman. Your sisters don't need no white man and all of those things. You don't need them, man. Read on.
And the servant said unto him, peradventure, the women will not be willing to follow me unto this land.
And then the servant said, peradventure, meaning, what if the woman's not willing to follow me? So the servant saying, what if the woman's not willing to follow me? Because he knows he has to keep this oath to Abraham. And at these times, these righteous men right here, if you made an oath to a man, you would have to keep that oath. Not like today where everyone breaks promises and breaks oaths and breaks covenants. Back then, people wasn't like that. But in 2020, if this was 2020, a man would have said to Abraham, yeah, don't worry. After Abraham's dead, would have forgot what he said, man, and not done it. But at this time, they kept the oath, man. Read on.
And Salakia, must I need bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest?
And he goes, don't bring my son back to that land. Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. The Lord of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me and sware unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land. He shall send his angel before thee.
And he said, the Lord came to me saying, unto thy seed I'm going to give this land. He's going to send this angel before you. So now he's saying the Lord's going to send the angel, so you're going to know which woman to take for Isaac. Go ahead.
And thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence.
And then you take a wife to my son from thence. Listen, man, Abraham's dying wish was, don't marry no damn heathen, man. You know why? The customs get messed up. The culture gets messed up. You start to want to be like them. You start to raise your children like them, and then what happens? Your children goes up, and then your children wants to what? Get with a white partner, Chinese partner. Then before you know it, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, man. Read on. The Lord wants to keep us in house. The Lord wants us as a nation, man.
Right.
The Lord don't want us, everybody's mixed with this, everybody's mixed with that, everybody's mixed with this. The Lord don't want it like that, man. The Lord wants us to what? Keep our inheritance, man, and not mix with no one else. Why? Because you see, once you mix with someone else, if you mix with another nation, automatically you're going to start to love that other nation a bit, man. You're going to start to love their customs. You're going to start to you're going to start to what? Go easy on them. Like when the Lord says what? Go destroy all these African nations. If you've got a wife that's a Hamite, you're going to be upset, man. You ain't going to want to do it. God. You're going to be like, I can't do it because my in-laws is. That's why the Lord don't want us to make no covenants and agreements with them, man. So when it's go time and the Lord says destroy them, we can go destroy them without, it's thinking, these is my in-laws and whatnot. Just start thinking with your penis, man. It's not that hard, man. You can say something.
Yeah, someone online says, what's a mamza?
What's a mamza? Basically, a mamza is like an illegitimate child. It depends which context you're going by. But people, what people like to say is people tell you that people tell you that a mamzer is people tell you that a mamzer is someone with like a heathen mother and whatnot, and they can't ever come into the congregation of God, and they can't do this and they can't do that. Whereas that's a lie. If you got a heathen mom, you're welcome, man. You know why? Because it's not your fault that your father had sex with your mother who's a heathen. That's not your fault, man. The Bible says what? Our parents' teeth was what set on edge. It says our parents' teeth was set on sour grapes, and the children's teeth was set on edge. Meaning what? The children was punished for what the parents did. Whereas back then, if certain things happened, you couldn't come in. But now, we all can come in, man. Like if you've got a heathen mom, you can come in, man. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't come in. The same person who's telling you that you can't come in, you just ask them, was you circumcised on the 8th day? They can't come in either then. You ask them, have you been to every Passover? The answer is going to be no. They can't come in either then. Why? Because the Lord, what Christ died, so what? We can come back, man. So it doesn't matter what your mom is nowadays, man. All your father's to be is an Israelite, but you don't make the same mistake that your father did. Go ahead.
Also, a mamzer is the illegitimate son, so you could be a mamzer if you're a product of adultery.
Basically, yeah.
So a lot of people are. So if your dad has sex with your mom, you should take it. That'll make you a bastard at the same time as well.
And back then, by that you'll be what? One of those ones that was just wandering around in the wilderness. You know, one of those ones that couldn't come in. You would have been one of them ones. But now, most of us is here from them adultery and whatnot, and we can come in. Why? Because that was our father's mistake and not ours, man. Christ died, so we can come in, and then it's for us to come in and not make the same mistakes that our fathers made, and teach our sons not to make the same mistakes either. Read on.
Khan. And if the woman will be not willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath.
And then Abraham said, you know what? Okay, then if the woman's not willing to follow you, then you're clear from my oath. The oath when he put his hand on his thigh and promised him. Go ahead.
Only bring not my son thither again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and sware to him concerning this matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master and departed. For all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia unto the city of Nahor.
Go ahead.
And made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening.
So now the master did now Abraham's servant did what? He took the camels, and all of these things. So now he's going to find a wife for Isaac. Now Abraham could have said, you know what? The land of my kindred's far. Let me just make Isaac marry one of these heathens. He didn't say that, man. Abraham sent out his servant, man, to go find him a woman of his kindred. Listen, man, it ain't hard for you to find a woman of your kindred, man. Just look outside this door, man. That's all you see is women of your kindred. For you to skip them, for you to pass them to get some heathen, man. It shows you're full of lust, man, and just thinking with your penis, man. Read on.
The one can. This even the time that women go out to draw water.
So at these times, women would go out to draw water. Meaning what? The women would go out to the well. They'll go out to the well with a vessel or a bucket and would draw water. Go ahead. Obviously, this was before you had taps in your kitchen and Severn Trent. This was before, man. You had all of those things. Before you had to go to the well and you had to put your bucket in there and scoop up the water. This is before, this is before the taps and all of these things. These things you got now, you live in luxury now, man. You're privileged now, man. All of this shower in your house, en suite from your bedroom to the, what's it called? Back in these days, man, it was what, the river. You had to go to the river, man. Read on.
And he said, O Lord, O Lord, God of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speech.
And now this man did what? Prayed to the God of his master Abraham, man, which is letting you know that our God ain't everybody's God, man. He prayed to the God of his master, man, Abraham. Read on.
I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and shew kindness unto my master Abraham.
Go ahead.
Behold, I stand here by the well of water, And the daughters of the men of the city came out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also.
But now he prayed to the God of Abraham, man, and said, you know what? Let this be speedy, and when all the women, because he didn't know who was who, so he's saying, when all the women come, let the one who asked for a drink give me a drink, and give the camels drink also, and then that one I will know this is the wife who is going to be Isaac's wife. God, if this was 2020, women ain't giving. Listen, you wouldn't know. Women ain't giving no man no water to drink in 2020, man. And say, get the water yourself, this and that. Back then, man. Back then, these sisters back then actually was helpful. And there was the women back then is how the women are in the I.S.U.P.K, man. To make sure you eat, make sure you got water. And listen, man, this is how we know how to choose a wife, man. Ones that will feed you, come to the school, ones that will clothe you, ones that will do all of these things, man. Ones that will do all of them things. That's how you know. Now, making some wife out of a woman in the club is just, it's headache. You're gonna have a headache in the long run. After a week, you're gonna have a headache. After seeing her party 7 days a week, because that's almost similar to this party clubs. That's it. And then listen, man, you're gonna be brought to heaviness. So obviously, before you get one, just make sure these women got some virtue, man. Go ahead.
Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that thou hast shewed kindness unto my master.
They were saying, if that happens, if the Lord does that for him, then you'll know that the Lord showed kindness. Go ahead.
And it came to pass before he had done speaking that, behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel.
So now, before he was done speaking, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel. Go ahead.
Son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder.
The son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother. Go ahead. Now, back in the days, it was our marriages was what? Like cousins and whatnot. People think it's a sin to marry your cousin. It's incest. It's not. Incest is what you marrying your sister, your mom, your auntie. That's what it is. You'll see it in Leviticus, the 18th chapter. But because we're in 2020, that don't mean go marry your cousin now. Technically, we're all cousins, but that don't mean go marry your uncle's daughter. It don't mean that now, man. Listen, there's so much of us now that obviously you don't need to be that close, man. It don't mean go marry your uncle's daughter and whatnot. But if you did, it wouldn't be a sin. It wouldn't be a sin if you did, but it wouldn't be wise to. Your uncle be looking at you like, especially. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was just to build the nation.
And even though now we're still all cousins, but now we're far cousins, and there's so much of us that you don't need to. Your direct cousin, where read on.
Khan, with the pitcher upon her shoulder, and the damsel was very.
Rebecca gave me the picture on her shoulder. Go ahead.
And the damsel was very fair to look upon.
And fair back then meant beautiful. Now fair in 2020 means what? Fair skin, light skin. Fair in 2020 means you have a light complexion, because they tried to say that beautiful is light skin. The lighter you are, the more beautiful you are. When biblically, when it says fair, it's not talking about that. Read on.
And this Slakia, a virgin, neither had any man known her.
It said what? A what?
A virgin.
It said a virgin meaning what? A woman of marriageable age. And it says neither has no man known her. Now, if virgin meant someone that's never had sex, why would it need to say the same thing 2 times? It means 2 different things, man. Virgin in the Bible means what? A woman who is of marriageable age, man. That's what it meant. It's in a virgin of marriageable age, meaning this woman looks marriageable, and this woman might be Isaac's wife, man, because she looks marriageable, and she's not known no man. She don't belong to no man. Go ahead.
She went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher.
So now he's trying out what he said he was going to try. Now he's asking for a little bit of water from the pitcher. Go ahead.
And she said, "Drink, my lord." And she
Listen,
hastened.
man. She's showing meekness and humbleness, man. She's saying, "Drink, my lord, man." She knows what to deal with men respectfully, man. Not go on Facebook and run your mouth, man. Not go on the internet and run your mouth. Not be on the street running your mouth, man. She knew how to what? Be respectful. And this is what we teach women in here, man, to be respectful. Not run your mouth on Facebook, man. Right. Like these days, it's just so disgusting, man. I see women running their mouth on Facebook. I just press the remove button nowadays, man. I'm impatient with it now. I press the remove button nowadays, man. It's disgusting, man. Sometimes you don't need to say nothing at all. Read on. If you're not getting me water like Rebecca got this, man, just don't even speak to me. Read on. You ain't getting me no water like this woman did, like Rebecca did for this man. Just stay out my DMs, man. stay out my inbox. Read on.
And she hasted and let down her pitcher on her hand and gave him drink.
And she gave him Volvic. Read on.
And when she had done giving him drink, she said, "I will draw water for thy camels also."
So now this is how we knew, because she said she will draw water for the camels also. She took care of the flock that was with him. Go ahead.
And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again unto the well to draw water and drew for all his camels.
And she drew water for all his camels. Go ahead.
And the man wondering at her held his peace, to wit, whether the Lord had made his journey prosperous or not.
So how does peace thinking, yo, is this of the Lord or not? Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, the man took a golden earring of 1/2 shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hand of 10 shekels weight of gold.
So now this is him. He traveled far, man. I can't remember how far the lands were apart, but he traveled far with his camels to go get a wife for Isaac. Yeah, read on.
And said, "Whose daughter art thou? Tell me."
Listen, man. This is one West, man. Every time we see some sisters, we say, "Yo, what's your background, man?" We don't tell them why we're asking. This man's dropping it how we drop it. He's dropping it how we drop it, man. So you get me. We see a sister, be like, "Yo, so what's your background?" You look a little. I think your background's Jamaican. We tell them you think your background's Jamaican. We tell them we tell them we think your background's Jamaican. If they say their background's Ghanaian or Nigerian, okay, enjoy your day. We go about our business. Man. You have to drop it slick, man. So this man right here, man, that's why he's dropping that in there. Whose daughter are you? He's dropping it in there to see if she's part of the kindred, man. Like you have to be a little slick with it, man. You ain't got to tell them why you're asking. And then if they're not of your nation, you don't have to be rude. You just cut the convo short. Just say, okay, enjoy your day and keep it moving, man. That's it, man. What if it's a sister say, you say, yeah, especially in the UK, they're probably Jamaican. So you just like, yeah, is your background Jamaican? Oh, yeah, I thought so. Kingston. You just like Kingston. Just drop that in there, Kingston. Style it out a little bit, man. And these are the questions that you need to ask. Ask these questions straight away, man. Do you have a man? What's your nationality? And when you ask them, have you got a man? You honestly nowadays you better have to asking, are you having sex with anybody? Because most women in their head they haven't got a man, but they're having casual sex. They're having casual sex with 3 or 4 men, but they haven't got a man. So you're thinking they ain't got a man, and then they're telling you, and then this is the common one. This is the common one. Everyone's probably heard it. In their mind, all of them give you the same answer. I haven't had sex for 3 months. It's always 3 months, man. Always 3 months. 3 months every day. It's never less. It's never more. Always 3 months. That's their safe answer. So you have to ask these questions. And this man here, he's asking whose daughter are you? Because he's trying to find out if she's of the same kindred. Read that.
God, tell me, I pray thee. Is there room in thy father's house for us to
that's it, and you can drop that. So now he was getting a wife. He was getting a wife for Jacob. Give me Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20. So now he was getting a wife. Yeah, no, it's lucky not Jacob, Isaac.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took
Listen, man.
Rebekah's wife.
Isaac was a big grown man, and Abraham was still trying to find a wife for him, man. Isaac was what?
40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife.
Listen, man. Isaac was 40 years old when he got married, man. Now you're thinking, how can Abraham tell Isaac who to marry when Isaac's a grown man? The thing is this, man. We honored our fathers. We respected our fathers. We know our fathers have seen more than we've seen. So we would have listened to them. And Abraham didn't want his son to marry some Canaanite woman, man. So he got him a sister. He got him a sister, man. And they prayed to the Lord night and day. I believe it took what? About 20 years for her to get pregnant. It took about 20 years for her to get pregnant because she was barren. It took about 20 years. So that means maybe when there was about 60, when he was about 60 something. Now, that was Abraham's dying wish. But give me Genesis chapter 27 and verse 46. Now, Rebekah was a sister, man, who married Isaac. Now we're going to see what Rebekah wanted for her son. So now we're going to see what Rebekah wanted for her son, man. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 46. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me?
Listen, man, she goes, what's the point of my life if my son, man, that I've raised is going to take one of these women, man? You look at interracial marriage like, you look at it like it's a little thing, man. It's actually a big thing.
That's right.
And she said, what's my life if he marries one of the daughters of the land?
Right.
She was saying, you know, there's no point, man. What's the point? Like, listen, man, you're giving yourself away to these nations that don't deserve you, man.
That's right.
Just for what? Just for sex. And after you do it, you feel bad and you know it was wrong, man. Don't do it, man. Listen, man, there's some beautiful sisters, man, in the nation of Israel. Why do you need to go outside of this? All these women that you're chasing outside of our nation is trying to be like the women in our nation, man.
Right.
They're copying everything, man. They're copying the way they speak, the way they get their nails done, the way they do their makeup, all of these things, man. They're copying everything that our women do. They try and even use the same words and try and have the same vibe as our women. Why are you trying to get with them, man? What you need to do is everything that you have, man, and everything that woman has, man, you two need to come together and create a beautiful family, man. Don't be going outside of your race, man. The Lord told us, don't make no covenants or no agreements. Read on.
And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him.
He charged him, man. Meaning what? The same way Isaac obeyed Abraham, Isaac's expecting Jacob to obey him the same way, man. Read on.
Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Listen, man, he told him, don't take none of them, man. Read on.
Arise, go to Padanaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Go ahead.
And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people. And
listen, man, we've got such a great nation, man. Why do we want to give anything that we've got away, man? What we've got, we don't need to be giving it away. Because what we do is make these other nations rich, make these other nations profit of us, man. We give them, listen, we give them the goodness that we meant to give to our own people, man. Go ahead.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and thy seed with thee.
So like you say that again.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee.
And give the blessing of Abraham, man. And listen, man, we've got them blessings of Abraham. We've got them blessings, man. And listen, man, you ain't meant to be blessing some white woman with making her have a child of yours, man. Why are you giving her that privilege, man? Don't give her that privilege, man. You giving a Chinese woman that privilege. A Chinese woman, you know, you giving her that privilege. Don't, man. The sisters out here, man, that you should be making babies with. Read on.
So like, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, And he went to Padanaram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and
The
Esau's
brother
mother.
Rebecca, Jacob and Esau's mother. Go ahead.
When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padanaram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
So now Esau saw that he blessed Jacob and told him, don't take a wife of the daughters of Canaan, man. Read on.
And that Jacob obeyed his father and mother, and was gone to Padanaram. And
Go ahead.
Esau saying that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had.
So now he said Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan didn't please his father, man. It didn't please his father. So what did Esau go and do? Give me Genesis chapter 28. No, give me Genesis. Actually, Rabban, you hold that, and Tazapon, give me Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1. So Rabban, read verse 7.
Verse 7. And that Jacob obeyed his father and mother, and was gone to Padanaram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of
went and took some Arab wives. Go ahead.
Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife.
All right, stop there now. Tazapon, give me Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1. So in that verse it said what? The daughters of Canaan didn't please Isaac. And Esau knew it didn't please his father. It said Jacob obeyed his father's voice. Now let's see what this bastard Esau done. Read Genesis 36 and 1.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of the Canaanites.
Esau did what?
Took his wives of the daughters of the Canaanites.
Listen, man. Esau was a disobedient son, man.
That's right.
And you don't want to be like Esau. And Esau didn't deserve no blessings, man. And this is why he didn't receive the blessing. He knew that his father didn't want him to take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. He went and done exactly what his father didn't do. It's typical of the white man to not obey nobody, man. Whereas Jacob obeyed his father. Whereas we're supposed to be good sons. Esau can't be a good son, man. Esau's a murderer by default. And he wants to go against everything. He went against his father, man. His father said, don't do that. What did Esau go and do? Married Canaanites. Read that again. And Ishmaelites also.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of the Canaanites.
Listen, man, you see Esau. Esau is like the son that you don't want, man. Esau's like the child that you don't want. Esau's like the child where you're like, why did I get this child? Esau's that one where your hands in you like having a son like Esau is like finding out your son's a homosexual, man.
Right.
Finding out your son's gay, you know that feeling you'll feel. Like, what did I do to get a gay son? What did I do to get an Esau, man? That's what it's like. It's like, what did I do to get a son like Esau, man? That's what it's like. Whereas your son Jacob that obeys your voice will make you glad, will make you happy. Why? Because he does what you say, man. Whereas Esau's disobedient. It's like you saying to your son, don't be gay. I'm going to work now, don't be gay. As soon as you turn off the road,
So lucky your feed frozen.
Alright, cool.
Welcome.
Yeah, maybe the camera.
Oh, they can hear me.
Yeah, can you?
God.
Someone online, give me a 1 if you can hear me.
Here we go, one.
Oh yeah, most in Christ. Yeah. Oh, the videos come back on. Ra'aban, where was we? Genesis 28 and
Yeah, I
go
think
to,
that one was reading 31. Are we done with that?
yeah, we're done with that one. Give me 1 second.
I was at Genesis 28. And
Actually, drop that. Give me Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 22.
Proverbs 23, 22.
And then Tazapon, you get me Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 1.
Proverbs.
What we've got, man, we need to keep it in our family, man. Proverbs 10 and 1. Robin, you got that? 23, 22.
22.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hearken not, hearken unto thy father that begat thee.
The Bible says, hearken unto thy father that begat thee, man. What Esau should have done is listen to his father. He didn't listen to his father, man. Whereas Jacob did listen to his father. And those people are us, man. We're meant to listen to our father. We're meant to listen to God also, man. The reason we don't listen to God is why? Because we've got Esau's influence, man. We've got Esau's outside influencing us to go against God. Everything that we're doing, it's not what we want to do. It's just that we see right in front of our eyes. We see it on the TV. You see interracial marriage on the TV, so you want to do it. When really you ain't supposed to, man. Read on.
And despise not thy mother when she is old.
And don't despise your mother, man. Esau, man, they despise their parents. They put their mom in an old people's home. They don't see them. They don't care about them. Whereas us as black people, with our parents, when they get old, what do? We do the shopping for them. We go Asda. We go make sure they're all right. We take them shopping, take them out to the park. Like, we take care of our people, man. Listen, man, the way my mom took care of my grandma, man, she was there all the time, man. She'll cook for her, clean for her. She'll cook, clean. She'll go Asda. She'll go shopping. She'll do all these things for her. She'll go. When she's going to buy her fish and meat, she'll phone her and ask her, does she want anything? That's how you meant to take care of your parents, man. You ain't supposed to just, leave your parents just in a home on their own to just die. Listen, man, you look after them parents, because why? One day you're going to get old and you're going to want your kids to look after you, man. So you treat your parents how you expect your kids to treat you when you get old. Read on.
God. Buy the truth and sell it not.
Buy the truth and sell it not, man. That means you see this, don't get rid of it, man. Hold on to it, man. Hold on to this, man. Don't give it away, man. Don't give it up, man. Don't give up this truth for white women, man. You're trying to give up this truth for white women, Chinese women, African women. It doesn't make no sense, man. Read on.
Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice.
And the father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice. Now, imagine what it must be like to be a father, man, and you got a righteous son. You can rejoice, man. Your son goes out. You don't have to worry about him coming home in a box. You don't have to worry about him going to jail for selling drugs. You can be like, yeah, my son. You can big him up, man. Nowadays, what do people have to do with their sons now? Oh yeah, he's just on holiday. He's in jail, man. He's not on no holiday, man. You're lying saying he's on holiday. We know he's in jail, man. How do I know he's in jail? Because my dad's saying I'm on holiday and I'm in jail too, saying listen, such and such his son in here, man. Both of you are lying to each other, saying, "No, my son's on holiday." When both of your sons are in jail together, man, saying listen, such and such his son in here. And listen, the thing is, yeah, black people know when you're lying, but they make out like they don't know when you're lying. Like, listen, man, there was one time, my mom had a friend. She lied and said her daughter got into grammar school. She didn't go to grammar school. She went to Hillcrest. That ain't no grammar school. Plenty of hoes came out of that school, so lucky. Plenty of hoes came out of that school. She said she went to grammar school. The truth is, she didn't pass the exams. Like, there's no shame in it, man. If you don't, at least you tried, man. But she lied and said she went to grammar school. So my mum being as fake as she could be, she knew it wasn't a grammar school, and she still brought a congratulations card and chocolates, even though I'm saying, why don't you just say, it's not no grammar school, man? I think up until this day, she's probably still believes she went grammar school, but I read on.
God. And he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him.
Says what?
And he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him.
He that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him, man. And a wise child is a child that gets in the I.S.U.P.K. like Alban, man. Give him a hand, man. Alban, man. That's a wise child, man. Salaki's a man now, Salakia. I can't call him a child no more. He's a man now, Salakia. Correction. Read on.
Thy father and thy mother shall be glad. And she
thy father and thy mother shall be glad, man. Listen, man. When you're a wise child, you make your parents proud. Drop that. Give me Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12. You got Proverbs 10 and 1. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh glad. A wise son maketh a glad father.
A wise son maketh a glad father, man. Listen, man. Imagine how beautiful it is to know that your son ain't out there smoking weed, man. Right. Ain't out there smoking crack, man. Ain't out there taking drugs. That's beautiful, man. That will make you glad. You'll see what other people's doing and you'll be like, my son don't do that, man. Right. You'll be like, my son's wise. My son don't do that, man. Give me is that it on that or is there any more? No. There's more. All right, go ahead.
But a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother.
A foolish son is the heaviness of his mother, man. You stress your mom out, man. Your mom starts looking fragile and stressed and bags under her eyes and can't sleep at night. Why? Because you're a foolish son and she's thinking, what has he got himself into now? What criminals is he running around with now? What criminal activity is he doing now? You bring your mother to heaviness. Give me Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12. Ra'aban.
Khan.
Oh, you got it. No, who's got it? You got it. 4 and 12.
I got it. All right.
Tobit 4 and 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Says beware of what?
All whoredom, my son.
Says beware of all whoredom, man. Listen, interracial marriage is whoredom, man. That's what it is. You ain't supposed to do that, man. Says beware of all whoredom. Don't let these heathens, man. Don't let these African women, these Chinese women, don't let none of them, man. Don't let none of them, man, make you lose out on your reward, man. Don't let none of them make you give up what you have, man. Don't sleep with none of them, man. They don't deserve you, man. God said they don't deserve you because you're better than them, man. Read on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Hold on, do what?
Take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Listen, man. God said you have to take a wife of the seed of your fathers, man. That's right. God said you take a wife of the seed of your fathers. How beautiful is it for what? You see that same sister that you grew up with in the ghetto, man. That same sister that used to listen. That same sister that you used to fancy when you was about 10, 11, man. How beautiful is it when you grow up to 18, 19 and she becomes your wife, man? Go ahead.
It's usually your mom's friend's daughter.
Exactly, it's usually your mom's friend's daughter, man. Usually, when you're young, you be playing games on the PlayStation. As you grow a little older, your parents feel the house shaking. So lucky, you're no longer playing them games no more. the house starts shaking. Obviously, it's what adults do. So this is how we used to do marriages. What the kids would know each other, man. And then as they get older, they probably get to 19, 20, and they'll get married, man. And the parents would know each other, which is a bonus. You know why? Because if that man's daughter comes with any nonsense, or that man's son comes with any nonsense, them fathers know each other, man. So you can't treat her like garbage. Why? Because her dad rolls with your dad. Her dad knows your dad. So you have to treat her respectfully. Whereas now in 2020, A sister couldn't say, I'm going to call my dad on you. Because people lame out in 2020. There's no respect no more. You call your dad. These men nowadays is going to beat your dad up, man. They ain't listening to no one. Whereas back then, there was a respect barrier in place, man. The Lord taught us brotherhood, but now brotherhood's gone out the window, man. And I.S.U.P.K is the only place where brotherhood resides, man. Outside of here, I mean, you marry your daughter to someone outside of here, chances are it's not going to work, man. You get married outside of here, chances are it's not going to work, man. Read on.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
And do what?
Take not a strange woman to
Says,
wife.
take not a strange woman to wife. A strange woman is a woman that's not of your nation, man. And the thing is this, all rich black men do what? Take strange women to wife, man. Like, you know what happens? Black men have to be millionaires and then they go and marry some white woman. Whereas a rich white woman wouldn't ever marry some poor black man, man. Black men, we need to do better, man. How about what? We get rich and we marry a black woman and give her some of this wealth, man. Instead of what? And this is the thing, these rich black men do what? Give all their money back to white society. Because why? You go and marry a white woman. Whereas if you married a black woman, you would have some children, man. Or married a woman from any of the tribes. When I say black, I mean all the tribes. I'm talking about Puerto Rican, Mexican, all the tribes, man. You give the marry one of them, man, your own people. Go ahead.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is what?
Not of thy father's tribe.
And tribe here just means family. Because some people believe that what? If you're a Benjamite, you can only marry a Benjamite. If that was so, how am I going to get this Puerto Rican? Exactly. Which lets you know it's not so. Listen, man, you can marry any of the 12 tribes. Read on.
God. For we are the children of the prophets.
Her for real, what?
For we are the children of the prophets.
We the children of the prophets, man. And that means something, man. That's royalty, man. The prophets was royalty, man. The prophets is what? God's chosen people, man, who speak the word of God, who prophesy. These prophets is better than gold and silver, man. And you're mixing with what? People that ain't worth nothing. You're royalty, man. Listen, Queen Elizabeth wouldn't sleep with you, man. Why? Because she sees herself as royalty. Prince Philip wouldn't sleep with you, man, because he sees himself as royalty, man. When the truth is, we royalty. We shouldn't be dealing with people like Amber Rose. What's Kanye's woman's name? We shouldn't be chasing one of the Kardashians, man. We shouldn't be chasing them, man. You got someone at the door. We shouldn't be chasing the Kardashians, man. That's what we shouldn't be doing. Interracial marriage is a sin against God, man. We the children of the prophets. And being children of the prophets means something, man. It means something, mean the children of prophets. Read on. Tasman, you got that Tobit 4 in. You can read 12 again.
It's midway through 12.
Tobit 4, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom.
Beware of all whoredom, man. This is the thing, man. Once you give into your lust, you're gonna go and have sex with a white woman, man. And after, you're gonna regret it and you know it's wrong. Then when the lust comes back, you're gonna go and do it again. Until what happens? You start to lie to yourself, and then you convince.
Feed's frozen again.
The seed of thy fathers.
And do what?
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Above all, men, take a wife of the seed of your fathers.
Yeah. And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they, all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. That's verse 12.
Abraham also. Go ahead. You're back up.
Yeah. Isaac and Jacob.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they all married wives of their own kindred, man.
Right.
They married their own people. Was there any questions online as well? Or? All right, no sir. If you got any questions, also type them in, man. Type them in and we'll get to them. Read on.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
Hold on, they did what?
That they all married wives of their own kindred.
They married wives of their own kindred. You're telling me, oh, you can't help who you love. You better help who you love. You can help who you love, man. The thing is this, you want to love everybody that you're not supposed to love. The Lord gave you 12 tribes to love, man. And you mean to tell me you want some Arab woman? Listen, man, something ain't right somewhere. Go ahead.
And we're blessed in their children.
And we're blessed in their children, man. And this is the thing, man. The thing is this, if you're a man and you have a child with a heathen woman, that child's still an Israelite, but the thing is, chances are that child's going to want to take on its mother's culture, going to want to take on the mother's language, going to want to take on everything from the mother's side and not from your side. Whereas what? If you stay with your own kindred, like the thing is this, us as black people, us as Israelites, we've got a certain vibe and culture. Whereas how beautiful is it, man, that there's just one culture in the house? Why you want 3 different cultures in the house, man? 3 different cultures in the house. You go to this grandma's house, you're getting rice and peas. You go to this grandma's house, it's tomato tin soup. Listen, man, there's a big difference, man. One of them you're getting tomato tin soup, and the other one you're getting rice and peas, man. That's 2 different cultures, man. How about what? We just stay with our own people. Read on.
And their seed shall inherit the land.
And listen, man, the Lord wants to give us this land. The Bible also says what? As long as we join to the people of the land, those people ain't never going to get up out the land, man. And we've been joined to them. And when you join to them, you're losing, man. When you join to them, you start losing battles. You start losing everything, man. And rich men, what do rich black men do? Get with other women and give them all their wealth. Give them all their wealth, man. Like Serena Williams, man. The what greatest tennis player of all time? Greatest tennis player of all time, man. Female tennis player of all time. And what's she gone and done? Had a baby with a white man. Which means what? All that black money is going to that little devil now. All that money is going to go to that devil, man. All that money, man. Serena Williams didn't want to get with someone that looked a little more like her father. Is her sister with a white man as well? Venus?
I'm not sure, but I know one of them is.
Both of them? Probably in it 9 times out of 10. Damn. And this is the thing, man. This is the thing. Us as black people, we taught to believe once you get a bit of money, that levels you up, and then you can go be with white people because white people are on a higher level. When that's a lie, man. The thing is this, man. Give me all the money in the world, man. That money is getting spent between me and black people, man. And listen, man. I'm gonna have Israelite women only, man. I'm gonna have them only. That money is gonna get spent on them, man. I'll pay for their nails. You think I'm paying for some white woman's nails? Come on, man. Nah, man. Listen, man. It just sounds weird. A black man paying for some white woman. The same woman that used to get you lynched. Bear that in mind. Same woman that used to get you killed. Now you pay for their nails. Now you chase their women. Now it doesn't make no sense, man. God said, marry wives of the tribes of your fathers, man. Go ahead.
God. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Do what?
Love thy brethren.
And listen, man. How you love your people is what? By marrying inside your own nation, man.
That's right.
Marrying inside of your race. People are going to say, oh, that was the past. That was the past. That's what people like to say. Oh, you're small-minded. You're small-minded. Listen, man. The thing is, you're open-minded, man. I don't want to be open-minded. I'll be small-minded, man. I don't mind being small-minded, man. Being small-minded works for me, man. Being small-minded, what? Keeps us away from being homosexuals, man. Once you become open-minded, you start to dabble in a bit of everything, man. You're open-minded. You open your behind. So lucky they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, man. Listen, man. We're closed-minded. We're small-minded. What's the other words to call it? Is it bigots to call us? We're narrow-minded. What else do you call it? Is it bigots? Yeah, we're bigots. We're all of that, man. Listen, I can be all of those things, man. Being small-minded means what? You ain't gonna accept the LGBT movement, man.
That's right.
When you're open-minded, you accept all of that movement, the LGBT movement. You accept it with open arms. Because you're so open-minded, this is why homosexuality is running rampant in the ghetto, man. Who would have thought gay men would be in the ghetto? Usually, them two words wouldn't go hand in hand. The ghetto and gay people, that wouldn't go hand in hand. Usually, that was on the white man's side of the fence. Now, it's on our side of the fence. Now you got men in the ghetto who are gay gangsters now. The gay gangsters. I didn't think I would hear a gay gangster or a gangster gay. I didn't think I would hear those words. But in 2020, go ahead.
No, what you say is correct. I never thought the day where like gunmen would take women to go watch a Shabbat show.
Exactly.
Gunmen would watch Shabbat DVD.
Exactly.
Watch it, man.
Exactly. He puts it in the Blu-ray player, man. Shabbat. Yeah, that's good that you don't know who Shabbat is. Shabbat is some homosexual Jamaican man. He does some so I can explain because I've never seen it. I believe they have like, you know, when they have them, what's it called? They have Jamaican plays. They used to have them at the theater. They used to have them at the drum. I can't believe they brought him to the drum, right? Did they bring him to the drum? Was it RuPaul? Yeah, they brought one of them there. So that's where has it dropped again? Oh. Yeah, so that's where they bring them. Read on.
Oh, is that me?
Oh, damn, is that in there? Yeah, play it.
Sure.
It's lucky. I don't even want to see it. It's lucky I don't even want to see it. So lucky I don't know what. So lucky I don't know what I said. I was like, yeah, play it. So lucky I forgot. I don't want to play it. So lucky.
Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
And you love your brethren by taking a wife of your own kind, taking a husband of your own kind, man. Now Serena Williams hates black people, man. Kanye West hates black people. Right. Kanye West said something about when you get on and something. What did he say? Something. And listen, man, Kanye West done exactly that. And ever since Kanye West has been with her, look how miserable he looks, man. His jaw was big already. Look at it now. You see his jaw out here with his miserable face, man. His jaw was already a mess, and look at him now. He's dyeing his hair blonde and all of these things. Kanye West now is doing things what you would expect white men to do. Whereas when Kanye West had a black woman, he was more black, man. And then you look at him now, she's changed him. Now, them kids that he's got, the Israelites, but they ain't never going to know the Israelites. They're going to be operating like the what are they, Assyrian? I believe Armenian. They're going to be behaving like Armenians. Listen, man, what's a black man doing with an Armenian? Armenian would be the Persians who come from the Elam, right? Yeah, Elam, the Elamites. Like, why would you want one of them, man? Like, what are we doing chasing those kind of people, man? People, they like Kim Kardashian, why? Because she's had all of the surgery and whatnot. Listen, man, Israelite women come better than that naturally, man. Kim Kardashian tried to behave like a black woman. She tried to behave like our women who come like that naturally, man. Read on.
And despise not thy heart, Salakia, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren.
And listen, you despise black people in your heart if you go get with other nation, man.
Right.
Listen, man. Now, if you got with one of them before the truth, obviously you stay with her because it's your wife. Obviously, you didn't know no better. You was just caught up in the world, and you thought, you know what? Love was like you thought love was, you know, you can't help who you love. You didn't know any better. You just thought it was the human race, because that's what you thought. Oh, with the human race. Once you're in here, you realize we ain't just the human race. You realize we're Israelites, and you can only be with Israelites. Read on.
The sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife, Salakia, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them.
Listen, man, you take a wife of your own people and you build her up, man. You build her up, man. That's what you're supposed to do. You're taking some woman of a next nation and building her up. It's not supposed to be like that, man. Read on.
For in pride is destruction.
For in pride is destruction, man. You're prideful, man. You don't want to take what? You're full of pride that you don't even want to take a woman of your own kind. And then the destruction comes when what? When that he even files for divorce and takes all your money, man. When that woman does what? Claims you raped her, and then you go to jail. The thing is this, man. If you don't want to be accused of rape, stay away from these white women, man. It's that simple. They're going to accuse you of rape one day, man. And the judge is going to listen to them, because they look at them like they're the princesses of the earth and they're royalty and whatnot. And they look at you like you're just a slave. Stay away from them, man. You're listen, you're playing with fire. Read on.
For in pride is destruction and much trouble.
Go ahead.
And in lewdness.
Lewdness is like what? Indecent behavior and whatnot, sexually and whatnot. Go ahead.
And in lewdness is decay.
Listen, man. In lewdness is decay, man. You see your indecent behavior. By your indecent sexual behavior, you get in with all these heathens. You're going to be in decay, man. Your money's going to start to disappear, man. You're going to lose all that money, man. All that money that you got, you're going to lose it, man. Everything that you've built up, you're going to lose it, man. And what? You're going to be sitting in jail like what? Bill Cosby. What was that? See that white man? That wasn't no woman. That was a white man. So luck, yeah. That white man that said Bill Cosby raped him. That ain't. Have you seen it? That's not no woman, man. Pull up the picture. Listen, that's a grown-ass man. Let's pull it up. That man was way bigger than Bill Cosby and taller. It wouldn't surprise me if he raped Bill Cosby. Pull up the picture. Listen, if you don't think this looks like a man, Lord be with you. Bill Cosby victim. You might have to write it the other way around. Bill Cosby was the victim. That one there is look. See, you telling me this don't look like a man? This doesn't look like a man. You need to pull up a full. See if you can get a screen share it. See if you can get a full picture from head to toe. It's tall, whatever it is. It's tall. It's tall. Look at that one there. That don't look like a man. Come on, that doesn't look like a man to you. That looks like a man. That's what they're saying. Bill Cosby assaulted, man. Have you seen how little Bill Cosby is? Listen, man. Look. Listen, that's a man. That's a man. Exactly. That's a grown-ass man. And that's what Bill Cosby's sitting in jail for. This said that Bill Cosby raped it. This said Bill Cosby raped it, man. Listen, man. I don't know if you said I can't call that a woman. I've never seen a woman look so rough and tough, man. I've never seen a woman look so rough and tough, man. That's a man. Listen, man. In order for you to defeat something like that in a fight, the Lord has to be on your side, man. The Lord has to be on your side, man. You see how big and tall that is. Listen, man. That right there is taking out the average man. So luck, yeah. That right there, exactly. That right there is taking out the average man. Read on.
And in lewdness is decay.
And there you go, man. There you go, man.
Lewdness is the mother of famine.
There you go, man. Listen, man. By all of this nastiness you're doing, man, it's gonna come right around to bite you on your behind, man. It's all coming back to haunt you, man. You think, you know what? It's just a little bit of sex and nah, man. until the rape charges come. Drop that. Give me Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 18.
Proverbs 5:18.
That Bill Cosby one, that sounds a little weird to me. Listen, I can't picture it. The man had money, so why would he go with it? It doesn't, something doesn't add up. Something doesn't add up. He's got all that money, and that's what nah. Something's not adding up somewhere.
God.
It don't add up at all. I'm not saying it didn't, I don't know. But no, I can't be, I don't believe not that. If it did, I don't think it was that. That's a lie. I can't believe that. You got it, Proverbs 5.
God. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 18. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Do what?
And rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Rejoice with the wife of your youth, man. What does that mean? Because how we used to do it in our nation is you would know who you was marrying. Obviously, you probably didn't know from early, but you would always be around that person at gatherings. Used to would usually, you know, the kids go fun fair together with your parents and whatnot. And as you get older, you would get married, man. The Bible says rejoice with the wife of your youth, man. How are you going to pass up all of that to get with some woman that's not of your nation, man? How are you going to pass upon all of that, man? When you meant to rejoice with the wife of your youth, man. And usually that'll be some what? Some sister that's the same nation as yourself, man. That's what that would be. The wife of your youth. Read that again.
Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Let your fountain be blessed, man, and rejoice with the wife of your youth, man. That's how we meant to do it, man. But what we want to the women we grew up amongst, we don't want them no more. We want to branch out and get women that we're not supposed to have. Go ahead.
God. Let her be as the loving hind.
Now, if we got with our own people, life would be a lot easier. But now, like, listen, man. I got an auntie, man, that's supposed to be pro-black, but she's with a white man, man. She's with a white man. Got some Edomite kids. I got an uncle that's meant to be pro-black. He's with a white woman, man. So now, because of them, I have to be explaining at the family barbecues why there's white people here. I have to be explaining at the family barbecues now. I want to be at that barbecue drunk as hell, talking about how much I love nigga. I can't say it because there's white people in the barbecue now. Now because what they're catering for white people at the barbecue, we have to take some of the spices out of the food now because it's too hot for these white people now. It's too hot for them. We have to take some of the spices out. Listen, man. This is, you see, once you get with these other nations, you water down things, man. The food gets watered down. The culture gets watered down. Everything gets watered down, man. Read on.
Let her breast satisfy thee at all times.
Get a black woman, man. Let them breasts satisfy you, man. Listen, man. The word breast is in the Bible, man. Listen, if this was a white man's book, white women don't have breasts, so it wouldn't be in the Bible, man. It would say, let them two little whatever satisfy you, man. The Lord called them breasts, man. Because this is a black man's book, man. It said, let her breasts satisfy you, man. Read on.
And be thou ravished always with her love.
Be thou ravished always with her love, man. Have some beautiful Israelite babies, man. That's what you do, man. Any more in that? Is that about it?
Yeah. Next verse.
Go ahead.
And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman?
Why would you be ravished with a strange woman, man? Why? Why, man? Why? Listen, man. Why do you want to be having sex with some strange woman, man? God told you not to. Now, if you've already done it, obviously it's your wife. But if you haven't, don't do it going forward. So, like, pull me up the definition of fetish. Listen, man. Most black men, most white men get with black women because they got a fetish, man. Most black men get with white women because they got a fetish. Listen, man. Pull up the definition of a fetish. Go ahead. Exactly. This is what it is, man. These white men that want to have sex with black women, they don't really love you. They just got a fetish, man.
Share it, yeah? Screen share it or not?
Yeah, you can screen share it.
Fetish, a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree.
To what?
a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal.
Listen, man, a white man that wants to have sex with you, listen, it's abnormal, man. For black people to have sex with white people, it's abnormal, man. The reason that is because it's a fetish, and what does the white man call it? A guilty pleasure. Like they like things where they know that it's wrong, so it turns them on. They want to do it. They know something's wrong, and then doing it turns them on even more, man. And this is why they do it, man. Like a white man knows he shouldn't be having sex with no black woman, man. But it turns him on. A black woman knows she shouldn't have sex with no white man, but it turns her on, man. They do it, man, because they call it their guilty pleasure. It's disgusting, man. It's a disgusting fetish, man. A fetish that you shouldn't have. Get rid of that fetish in here. And also, that fetish is a demon, man. That's a demon telling you go and have sex with another nation, man. Drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 7:1. So now we're going to go into the law. This is the law, man.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Lord thy God bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before
No, this is the law. This is before when we was about to go in the land. So the Lord was giving us warning here, saying, yo, when you go into the land, go ahead.
The Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites.
All these African nations that was in the land. Go ahead.
And the Jebusites. 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
These are strong nations. The Lord was going to drive them out if we done the right thing. Go ahead.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Hold on. Does that say smite them or have sex with them?
Thou shalt smite them.
You sure it doesn't say thou shalt have sex with them?
Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
I think in here we must be reading it wrong. I think it must mean have sex with them the way that people are having sex with these other nations, man. Say smite them. The Lord said we meant to smite them, man. The Lord don't want us mixing with them. Go ahead.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
And we shouldn't make no agreement with them. And you see what happens when you make agreements with them. When you make agreements with them, you take on their culture, you invite them into your family, and they invite you into their family. And what happens? You try and become one big happy family. You try and do what Nimrod done when he tried to bring all people together. The Lord doesn't want all people together. Read on.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them.
No what?
Nor shew mercy unto them.
Listen, man, you show mercy unto them by having sex with them, man. That's what you do, man. Why? Because of your lust. Imagine these are people who hate you, and because of your lust, and you not fighting your demons, you go and have sex with them, man. The Lord said, don't have no peace with them, man. Read on. You ain't supposed to be no Netflix and chilling with no damn African woman, man. No white woman, no Chinese woman. You're only Netflix and chill with one of these sisters, man.
That's right.
You Netflix and chill with one of these sisters, man. So when you're watching the movie, man, she understand what they're saying in the movie, man. So when you're watching Shutters, she understands, man. She ain't got to pause Shutters every second and explain, oh, this means pause Shutters every minute saying, oh, this means, listen, man, you get with a woman of your own kind, man. Read on.
That's right. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shall not.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them. God said, don't make marriages with them, man. What is marriage? Sex. Sex is marriage, man. We ain't supposed to make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Don't give your daughter to his son. That's what you don't do, man. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. And this is why Abraham and Isaac was very strict with who their sons married, man. That's why they was very strict with who their sons married. Now, if you've got a son and you tell him don't marry no heathen women, and he does it, he's in the world and he has a wedding and he invites you to the wedding, don't go to the wedding, man. Don't give them your blessing, man. Don't ever allow your kids to marry no heathens, man. Even if they do the marriage of walking down the aisle, don't walk your daughter down the aisle to give her away to some heathen, man. I'm gonna say, listen, I don't condone this, man. I don't condone this, and I'm not gonna walk you down the aisle, man. Walking your daughter down the aisle to give her to some heathen, man, is like walking your son down the aisle for him to marry a next man, man. There's not much difference, man. You wouldn't do that, so don't do the other, man. You stay at home that day, man. Why? Because you serve God. Now, you can tell your kids, but once they get to a certain age, they get to that stage where they're going to want to do their own thing. So then, obviously, there's not much you can really tell them once they get to an adult. It's either if they obey your voice or if they don't obey your voice. If they don't obey your voice, no sweat, they're going to have to learn the hard way. That's how it goes, man. A lot of people have to learn the hard way. Read on.
Or they will turn away thy son from following me.
They will turn away thy son from following me. That's what happens, man. What happens is you marry these heathens, and then you no longer follow God no more, man. You no longer follow God no more, man. Now because of men like Leonard Howell. Leonard Howell was what? The man that started the Rastafarian movement that had the East Indian wife, right? Yeah, the East Indian wife. Because of men like Leonard Howell, who wanted to stick his rod in an East Indian woman, now I have to explain. Now I have to be on the street corners explaining that Rastafarianism ain't the way, it's East Indian culture. Why? Because Leonard Howell wanted to have sex with an East Indian woman and took on their culture and took on their customs. Now I need to be on the corner with a microphone saying dreads ain't a black man's custom. Why? Because Leonard Howell had sex with an East Indian woman and took on their customs. Now Leonard Howell, he just thought, oh, I'm having sex. How long ago was that? 60, 70 years ago. Now I've got to be on the street with a microphone talking about dreads ain't an Israelite custom because Leonard Howell wanted to have sex with an East Indian woman and take on their customs. Now I have to be on the corner saying, oh, smoking weed ain't an Israelite custom. It's not a black man custom. Why? Because Leonard Howell wanted to have sex with an East Indian woman 60-something years ago. And now we out here rectifying his mistake. Meanwhile, he just thought it was just sex. But sex with heathens does what? Turns away your son from following God, man. And that's what happens. Read on.
Go
ahead. Yeah, Martin Luther King also as well, man. Having sex with all these white women, man. And then now, because of Martin Luther King, we believe that we must all hold hands. We must all have a dream and come together. That's a nightmare, man. Listen, man, we followed his dream and his dream turned out to be a nightmare for black people, man. We must all hold hands and come together. Martin Luther King was one of the biggest sellouts, man. At least with Leonard Howell, he somewhat tried. Obviously, at that time, he just didn't have the right mind process and the right tools to get it all the way there. But now, because Leonard Howell wanted to have sex with an East Indian woman, we have to go to camp every Saturday and talk about Rastafarianism ain't our culture. Meanwhile, to Leonard Howell, it was just sex. He wasn't knowing that he was taking on somebody else's culture. And then now we're rectifying it 60 years from now. Just imagine the heathen that you're marrying who's turning you away from God. In 60 years' time, there's going to be someone that has to rectify your mistakes, man. We paying for your mistakes. To you was just thinking of lust. And now we have to go on the corner and rectify your mistakes. Whereas we could be having a lion, we have to go rectify your mistakes. While Leonard Howell was having sex with heathens, now we have to go rectify his mistakes, man. Read on.
For they will turn away thy sons from following me.
They will do what?
For they will turn away thy sons from following me.
And because of Leonard Howell, also what we need to do now is what? Teach black men that what? African women ain't no princesses, man. African women ain't no empresses, man. Talking about my Nubian queen, man. Listen, man. So you mean to tell me Taurus Riley grew up and was raised in Jamaica, skipped all them Jamaican women to make a song about my Nubian queen? She's so royal. Yes, she's royal. Listen, man. And this is what following other philosophies has you do. He skipped over Spice and all them beautiful women to go big up some African women, man, who hate him anyway. My Nubian queen. You know that song? I know you know it, Tazapon, innit? My Nubian queen, she's royal. It was a good song until he put my Nubian queen in there, man. My African princess. You got Caribbean men talking about my African princess. These African women are filth, man. And there ain't no princesses, man. Israelite women are princesses, man. So listen, I'm going to have to make a remix to Taurus Riley's song. I'm going to make a remix. Go ahead. You jumping on it? Okay. Me and Tazza for one.
I'm on that.
I'm going to do a remix. My Israelite princess. Yeah, no queens, just princess. Me and Tazza for one going to do a remix to that, man. It's going to be on Spotify. Give us a few months. Read on. I'm going to put it on Spotify.
God. that
Give-
they may serve.
We're gonna give a song to you sisters that deserve a song, man. Because all these musicians is what? They take the talent that God gave them and bless other people with that. And oh, now they made a song for you sisters, man. So me and Taza Pawan's gonna make a song for you sisters, man. Whether you like it or don't like it, it's for you. Read on.
Right. That they may serve other gods.
That they may what?
That they may serve other gods.
You have sex with these heathens, man, and then you serve their gods, man. You then serve their gods, man. You start talking Arabic, man. You get Arab woman, Arab woman. You start using Arabic terms, salam alaikum, all of these things. You get an Edomite woman. You start eating pork when you didn't eat pork before. You start doing things that you didn't do before. And you know how you know this is so true? Because there was a black man that married a white woman, and the white woman persuaded him to marry a sex doll. When does a black man marry a sex doll? I tried to find the article, but I couldn't find it. I tried to find it. This black man married us. Listen, black men don't do them things, man. Like, black men don't do them sex doll things, man. This woman turned away his heart, man, and made him marry a sex doll. Read on.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, man. The Lord's going to be against you for marrying a heathen. Go ahead.
And destroy thee suddenly.
And what?
And destroy thee suddenly.
We're destroyed right now, man. Why? Because we keep taking these heathen women as wives, man. And the Lord don't want us to do that. The Lord sees it as a big thing. People say, oh, we all bleed red. Listen, man. The Lord said, marry inside of your nation, man. Now, let the Arabs marry who they want. That's their problem. Let Chinese marry who they want. That's their problem. As for you, if you're an Israelite, your body only belongs to Israelites, man. Your body don't belong to nobody else. Only Israelites. I don't care if you love him and you think he's so cute. Who's that white boy that all of them like? What's his name? Is it Brad Pitt? They used to like Brad Pitt. Listen, man. Who cares about? Listen, man. You ain't allowed to have no damn Brad Pitt, man. Brad Pitt's gonna be on my cotton field, man. Brad Pitt's a devil, man. Brad Pitt is a devil, man. Brad Pitt. What do they call him? A silver fox? They call him a silver fox, where they say that's a good-looking white man, older good-looking white man, a silver fox. That's the silly terms they use. Listen, man. You ain't allowed to like them white men, man. It's against God, man. I teach my daughter every day, man. You only allow the Israelite, man. And she knows no heathen could never step foot in the door, man. She could never marry no heathen, man. If she ever married some heathen, listen, man. We ain't, listen, communication's going to be cut off, man. Because clearly you don't obey my voice. And my voice says the same thing that God says. You better marry an Israelite, man. That's what my voice says, the same thing that God says. Read on.
But Salakia. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars.
You shall destroy their altars. Now, if you marry them, and they serve their gods, and God says destroy their altars, you ain't gonna want to destroy them. Why? Because you've married one of them and you love her and you care about her feelings. This is why you stay away from them. So when the Lord says destroy their altars, we can destroy them. Now, if you've got a heathen wife and the Lord tells me to destroy their altars, I'm gonna destroy it. So you're my brother, same way, but I'm gonna destroy their altars, man. The Lord says I have to smite them. I'm gonna smite them, man. And go home to my Israelite princess at night, man. I'm gonna smite them and go home to my Israelite princess at night, man, and be ravished with her love, like it says in the Bible, man. That's what I'm gonna do, man. Meanwhile, you're gonna be crying by the altar that's destroyed. My house is gonna be filled with love. I'm gonna be stepping in the name of love. Right? Is that the song goes? I'm gonna be stepping in the name of love. Meanwhile, you're at the altar crying your eyes. Listen, just don't break your own heart, man. Marrying a heathen is you setting up your own heart to be broken, man. Because your heart's going to be broken in the end. Read on.
And break down their images.
And do what?
And break down their images.
Break down their images, man. You've got an East Indian wife. Listen, man. I'm going to come throw that Guru Nanak picture in the fire, man. I'm going to break down that Guru Nanak picture. You won't be able to break down that Guru Nanak picture. Why? Because you made marriages with them. And she worships it. And she's forcing you to worship it also. Read on.
And cut down their groves.
And cut down their groves, man. The things that they used to worship their gods, man. I'm gonna destroy all, man. These are now you'll be a man that usually eats meat and cows and whatnot. You get an East Indian woman, she's telling you, oh, you can't eat meat no more because they don't eat meat. So next time we see you, you're telling me that you're vegan. You telling me that you're a vegan?
God.
Why? Because you married some damn heathen, man. You done lost all the weight because you've turned vegan. There's nothing wrong with being a vegan also, but don't be a vegan because some woman tells you to be a vegan, man. Be a vegan because you want to be a vegan. No, you're gonna not eat beef burgers no more. Why? Because your woman worships a cow. Listen, man, stay away from them, man. Be with an Israelite woman that cooks you all the meat, man. That cooks up that chicken, cooks up that lamb, that curry goat. What else do we eat? Oxtail, jerk chicken. Listen, man, fried fish, man. Listen, get with a sister, man. And even the food you eat will be Israelite food, man. Whereas you get with these heathens, man. Imagine this. You're used to eating all your food with forks. You get with the Chinese woman, you're trying to use chopsticks. Imagine a black man trying to use chopsticks, man. Listen, when I was young, everyone in this tried to use chopsticks, right? And you just couldn't get it correct, could you? I'm picking up one rice grain at a time and it's dropping off the... Listen, man. The reason why we can't eat with chopsticks is why? Because the Lord told us to get with our own people, man. We don't need to eat with chopsticks. A chopstick. Read on.
God. What? It's like that. And burn down their graven images.
And burn down their graven images, man. As long as you're with a white woman, Caesar Borgia is going to be on the wall, man. That's right. You're going to have to go to a white church. And why? Because you've had sex with her and you married her and you don't want her to leave you and you love her so much, you ain't going to want to serve your God, man. Right. And that's why the Bible says, because they will turn away your heart from following me. That's exactly what happens. Look at Kanye West, man. That's the perfect proof. God. Listen, man, I got an auntie that was pro-black that got with some white men, man. And she's meant to be pro-black. Listen, she's in her living room, she's got the African map painted on her wall, man. The room's colored red, gold, and green, man. and she's with a white man, man. I kid you not, I remember years ago. How old was I? I must have been about 8 or something. There was like, come to me to my dad's house. My cousin was like, come to me to my dad's house. I was like, all right, then cool. So we went there to go get the PlayStation. He's gone, oh, my dad's cooked some food. You want some? The man made curry goat and rice. The white man made the curry goat and rice. He's like, you want some? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. The thing is this, man. I only eat curry goat and rice from black people, man. From Israelites, man. I only eat food from Israelites, man. I ain't gonna take no next woman and expect her to cook for me and whatnot. It's disgusting, man. Like they're a race of people that don't wash their meat, man. They tell you that it's wrong to wash your chicken. That's what you have to put up with every night, man. You have to put up with that every night. How about you marry an Israelite, man? You got 12 tribes of women to choose from who will treat you good, who wash their meat, who's got vibe and spirit, man, who's got culture. Go ahead.
Even cook their meat, because they say you cook it to you people cook your meat to death, man.
Exactly. Imagine that you in the kitchen with some damn Edomite woman and you're teaching her how to. Listen, I couldn't even fathom doing that, man. Imagine you teaching her how to cook. What verse you at?
Verse 6.
Read on.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. For thou art an holy people.
The Lord told us don't marry these other nations. Why? Because we are holy people. Right. So a holy people ain't meant to mix with trash, man. That's right. The other nations are trash, right. And we are holy people. We're separate and we're better than them. Right. So why would we give everything that we've got to a nation, man, of trash? Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special.
The Lord chose us, man. The Lord chose us, and because the Lord chose us, I'm also going to choose the women that the Lord chose, man. I ain't going to choose no woman that the Lord didn't choose, man. Read on.
To be a special people unto himself.
To be a what?
A special people unto himself.
Special people. Now, these other nations, they ain't special, man. These other nations is nothing to God. And you think I'm gonna wrap up with that? I ain't wrapping up with that at night, man. I'm wrapping up with an Israelite woman, man. The only woman that God said I could wrap up with, man. Imagine me cuddled up with some other. Nah, I can't imagine me. I can't imagine me Salakia. I ain't doing none of that, man. Cuddled up with some heathen, man. Listen, man, it's against God, man. Read on.
Above all people.
What? We're above all people. We're above all people. Now, at this moment, we don't know that, but we're above all people. I don't care how much money they got, man. Don't wrap up with them, man. We ain't supposed to wrap up with them. Give me actually, yeah, we ain't supposed to wrap up with them. Read on.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Everyone that's on this earth, us as Israelites are better than them, man.
That's right.
And our women are beautiful, man. And this is why all these other nations try to be like our women. They try have the same mannerisms. They try have the same attitude. They try be the same, man. Listen, man. Our sisters, man, is the best thing you're gonna get on this face. Best thing you're gonna get on earth, man.
That's
Like, listen, man. This earth wouldn't be earth without our beautiful women, man. Listen, man. When the Lord said, "I will make a woman for Adam," listen, man. The Lord had me in mind when He said that, man. The Lord had me in mind when He said that, man. I will make a woman for Adam, man. Listen, man. Just imagine how beautiful it is to have a woman in order. A woman in order, man. Imagine you go out to your slavery, you come home. Listen, man. These women in the UPK is so good. Sometimes we forget we're in slavery, man. Until the alarm goes off in the morning. Until the alarm goes off to work in the morning. We forget we're in slavery, man. Sometimes I'm thinking I'm in the kingdom sometimes, man. These women make you feel so good, man. You're thinking these Edomites is your slaves already, man. Until the alarm goes off in the morning, man. Up until then, man. And that's how it should be, man. We meant to love each other as a nation. That's how it should be. And this is what we're teaching in the I.S.U.P.K. But drop that. Give me 1 Kings 11:1. Oh yeah. Also, actually, give me Proverbs. Ezra 6:54. Yeah. Go ahead. You can read it if you want.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures.
Adam was ruler over everything. Go ahead.
Of him whom we are, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen. God didn't choose everyone. Go ahead.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
The Lord did what?
Made us the world for our sake.
The Lord made the world for our sakes, but we're in slavery right now because why? We want to have sex with heathens, man. Instead of us being free, we would rather be slaves and have sex with heathens, man. Because we don't want to, because we can't, we don't know how to fight our demons. Read on.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
As for the other people, go ahead.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Thou hast said that they are nothing, man. And listen, man, I've been hearing all the time, people need to stop doing that thing. I've heard black men say, I have sex with white women for slavery. Have you heard that one? I have sex with white women for slavery. That's a damn lie, man. You have sex with white women for slavery. You're paying them for slavery. Listen, man. If you wanted to repay them for slavery, you wouldn't have sex with them, man. You wouldn't have sex with them. To show how much you hate them, you don't have sex with them. Why are you having sex with them shows how much you love them. I'm repaying them back for slavery. How are you repaying them back for slavery, man? When you're having sex with them? And these heathen women have got you doing all sorts of gay things, man. You got these heathen women that handcuffing you and blindfolding you and got you screaming like you're a little bitch. Like, excuse my French. These heathen women is into some weird things, man. And that's what you like, man. These heathen women will say to you, if you love me, you'll let me do this to you. And you being so weak, you're going to let her, man. You've compromised your whole manhood. And now you're gay now. And you can no longer speak to me no more, Salakia. Now you're gay and no longer speak to me no more. That's where it's going to get you, man. I have sex with these heathen women to repay them for slavery. Listen, man. This is how you repay them for slavery, by serving God and having them on the cotton field, man. That's how you repay them for slavery. By whipping their backs, man. That's how you repay them for slavery, man. People talking about, a man that hits a woman beater. I'm gonna whip them white women's backs in slavery, man. Listen, man, this white man whipped our women's backs, man. You don't call him a woman beater, though. Listen, man, a job has to be done. Cotton has to be picked. And you get disciplined if you don't pick enough cotton, man. That's how it's gonna go. I need my t-shirts made. I need my jeans made. I need my bed sheets made, man. I need a cup of coffee, and I want my coffee made with fresh coffee beans, man. I don't want no Nescafe yesterday's ones. I want fresh ones, man. I want to taste the difference with fresh coffee beans, and I want to know the difference, man. And it's only right. That's how you repay them for slavery, man, by you serving God. And God will put them in slavery. That's how you repay them. You don't repay them by having sex with them. That's you just what? Being full of demons. Go ahead. Oh yeah, I'm still do that, man. I'm gonna have a listen, man. I'm gonna have a gas cooker, but I'm gonna make them start a fire with sticks, man. And then when they start the fire with sticks, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I forgot you could have used the gas fire." I'm gonna say, "I forgot you could have used the gas fire." Listen, man. I'm gonna play. Listen. I'm good at mind games, and I'm gonna play some mind games, man. Next time they go to use the gas fire, I'm like, who said you could use the gas fire? They're gonna say, but last time. I'm gonna say that was last time, man. That was last time, man. Read
Kings.
give me 1 Corinthians 11:1.
So like is it 1 Corinthians or 1 Kings?
Yeah, it's First Kings.
Khan. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
King Solomon loved many strange women, man. Go ahead.
Together with the daughters of Pharaoh.
He loved
women.
The daughters of Pharaoh, man. Egyptians, go ahead.
Women of the Moabites, Ammonites.
Women of the Moabites, man. He liked Chinese women, man. Solomon had Chinese women. The coronavirus women, man. Women with the coronavirus, man. Solomon loved those kind of women, man. Women that bring forth the coronavirus. Read on.
Ammonites.
Japanese women, man. Go ahead.
Edomites,
man. He liked them white women too, man. He liked that raw meat, man. The raw meat, man. That's what he liked, man. Read on.
Zidonians.
African women, man. Go ahead.
And Hittites.
African, more other nations of the African women.
God. Of the nations concerning which the Lord has said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them.
And the Lord told us, don't go into these other women. Don't go into these other nations. Don't marry them. Don't marry these strange women. Solomon married all these strange women. Read on.
Neither shall they come in unto you.
Meaning what? Don't let them into our family and we don't go into their family. Go ahead.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
And they'll turn away your heart after their gods. So now you'll be a big, strong black man, man. Now you're sitting in the Jehovah's Witness church now. Now you're Jehovah's Witness going from door to door. You're Jehovah's Witness going from door to door with a pamphlet, man. Talking about, what does it say on there? Kingdom Hall. Talking about Kingdom Hall. They'll turn you away from following God, man. You get with an Arab woman. Now you're a Muslim talking about Assalamu alaikum, putting some red dye in your beard. Because you got with a heathen woman, man. Read on.
Khan. Solomon clave unto these in love.
Solomon loved these women. So what these women wanted, he would give them because he loves them. Now, this is why you stay away from them, man. So you don't get drawn in. So you don't love them, man. So they can't ask you for nothing. So they can't ask you for a thing, man. Read on.
And he had 700 wives.
And he had what?
700 wives.
So, man, Solomon had 700 wives, man. Damn. Solomon must have had magnums on top of magnums on deck, man. Damn. Damn. Solomon must have had some mandrake. Solomon had everything, man. Magnums, Viagra, the whole lot, man. Damn. That number there. Read on.
And 300 concubines.
300 concubines. A concubine is a sister that you get from war and whatnot. Go ahead. It tells you that in the 21st chapter. Deuteronomy 21st chapter. Go ahead.
And his wives turned away his heart.
And his what?
And his wives turned away his heart.
Wives turned away his heart, man. Solomon was a man of God, man. But his wives turned away his heart. His wives had him doing things that he wouldn't usually do. Read on.
God. For it came to pass when Solomon was old.
So in his old age, go ahead.
That his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
And his wives turned away his heart after. What verse you at?
Verse 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God. And as was the heart of David his father.
As was the heart of David his father. Like David was perfect with the Lord. Now Solomon started off on the right path. But then what? Took these strange women. And these strange women caused him to fall, man. These strange women is going to cause you to fall if you take them, man. They're going to have you serving their gods. Read on.
For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians.
Go ahead.
And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
And the abomination of the Ammonites, man. Go ahead.
And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord.
And he done evil in the sight of the Lord, because why? It's evil to have a wife that's not of your nation, man. Read on.
And went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
Go ahead.
Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh.
So now Solomon started building things for his wives, man. Started building things to their gods. Go ahead.
The abomination of Moab.
Do what?
The abomination of Moab.
Listen, man. Solomon started talking about it's the year of the rat, man. That's what Solomon started talking about, man. Solomon started talking about the month of Abib, which is what? The first of the month, which is the Passover month. Solomon started saying this is the year of the rat. Solomon started dancing with that dragon thing where they dance like this, man. Solomon started going out with that dragon thing that they do when it's Chinese New Year, man. Solomon started celebrating Chinese New Year and all them things, man. Because he's doing these things for his wife. He started celebrating Chinese New Year's, eating with chopsticks, eating duck fried rice. What else do these Chinese eat? Wearing a gi, talking about his Karate Kid and whatnot, man. Listen, man. Solomon went from serving God to what? Dressing up as Karate Kid, man. Thinking he's Chinese and whatnot. Read on.
In the hill that is before Jerusalem, and from Moab, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
And the Japanese, man, started following their customs and building things for them, which means what? Them heathens believed in their God so much that they got Solomon to turn from his God. These times their gods is idols, man, and Solomon's got the living God, man. And the thing is, you see, with them heathens gods allow them to marry whoever they want. So to them, what they're doing ain't wrong, but what Solomon's doing is wrong. You know why? Solomon, man, if only Solomon known his God has standards for his people, man. His God has levels for his people, man. You see, the God of the Moabs and the idols and whatever these Chinese people serve, their gods have no standards, man. They can do whatever they want. And Solomon ended up cleaving unto them in love and serving their gods. Read on.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives.
And he done all these things through strange wives. Read on.
Which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods.
Burnt incense and sacrifices to their gods, man. Probably dogs. If the Moab ones, dogs, cats. That's what the Chinese people are into, man. Dogs, cats, bats. And then now we got the coronavirus, man. The thing is this. You see, if we were serving God, the Chinese would have the coronavirus and we would be in our land where there's no such thing as coronavirus, man. You see why coronavirus spread around the whole world? Because nations keep mixing together, man. That's why we would be in our land and these Chinese wouldn't be coming to our land. They would have the coronavirus and we wouldn't, man. They would be dropping dead from the coronavirus, talking about they need a ventilator. And because we ruling the earth, I'm going to have 1 million ventilators and say, I got no ventilators. I'm going to say, I got so lucky, I got no ventilators. Because they do that to us over here. You think they don't? Listen, if there's one ventilator left and a black man and a white man both need that ventilator, you think the black man's getting the ventilator? That black man ain't getting the ventilator, man. He's going to have to die. The same way they treat us is how we should treat them. But you're going to say, oh, I have sex with them because I'm repaying them back for slavery. What about the ventilator, man? What about the one ventilator, man? You're having sex with them because you're repaying them back for slavery. Listen, man, we need them ventilators that they're not giving us. Read on.
And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
Imagine the living God, man. You've seen what God does. God's blessed you with wisdom and everything. You've seen these things, and then you get turned away by some woman, some Chinese woman, some Arab woman, some African woman. Some big stinking African, so lucky, excuse me, I can't stand these African. Read on, Robert, on before you get me a chicken for going off on the air. Read on. Before I go off on the air.
Concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods.
Listen,
but
man. You marry them and you go after other gods. That's what happens. Read on.
But he kept not that which God had commanded.
He kept not that which God commanded him, man. Read on.
Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom. I will surely rend the kingdom from thee.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 23. Read on.
And will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding.
And now, because of what? Because of that, the kingdom split in two, man. Which lets you know what? In Solomon's eyes, it was just sex. This unlawful sex got the kingdom split in two, man. Because our forefathers wanted to have unlawful sex. I'm sitting here in England right now, man. I'm sitting there. Listen, I'm paying for it right now, man. I could have been in Israel somewhere on a beach on a hammock with a sky juice, with a sky juice and some grapes and whatnot. Instead, I'm in England, man. Instead, I'm in England setting alarms for work tomorrow, man. Setting alarms for work tomorrow. In Solomon's eyes, he was just having sex. Just understand what you're doing affects you people, man. All those people of our nation that was having sex with heathen, we paying for it now. Because now I'm sitting in England now, setting my alarm for work tomorrow, doing a job which barely pays me, when I should be on a beach somewhere on a hammock, man. I should be on a hammock somewhere going fishing, running through the sand in slow motion. You see how they do it on there? What is it? Baywatch where they run through the sand in slow motion with that surfboard. I should be running through a beach in Israel with a surfboard, man. That's what I should be doing. Instead, I'm in England setting alarms for work tomorrow. Or because our forefathers wanted to have sex with heathens and disobey God. This is why we need to serve God so we can get back to that, man. Alban, read on.
Khan. Notwithstanding, in thy days, I will not do it for David, thy father's sake.
So he didn't do it for David's sake, but the kingdom got split in two. Read on. So now, meanwhile, Solomon was splitting these heathen women. The Lord split the kingdom in two, man, because Solomon wanted to have sex with these heathen women, man. Now, was it all worth it? No, man. Which lets you know these women that we're taking up that we shouldn't be taking, it comes back and it affects us later on, man. Now, these men at this time didn't think it would affect us. Give me Nehemiah 13 and 23.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod.
So even after that, we still was what? Marrying wives of Ashdod. Go ahead.
Of Ammon.
Ammon, man. Japanese, man. Listen, what makes you look at a Japanese woman and think a Japanese woman looks good? A Japanese woman. Come on, man. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me you put a Japanese woman over what? The tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Manasseh, and so on. Listen, man. You like a Japanese woman. Listen, man. I plan to go to Jamaica soon. I pray you come with me, man. I pray you come with me, man. You're going to see something, man. We're coming back married to Lucky. Read on. To a sister. Go on.
And of Moab.
And of Moab, man. What makes you look at a Chinese woman that can barely open their eyes, man? Can barely open their eyes. And you put that over a sister. This is why the Lord had to put us in slavery, man. So we can sit back and realize where we messed up. Read on.
And their children spake in the speech of Ashdod.
And this is what happens. You see, once you get with a heathen woman, your children lose their culture, man. They lose the culture. They lose the culture, man. And they start to what? They make you start to do things that you wouldn't usually do. Now, if you get with an Arab woman, guess what? Your kids are learning Arabic now. You get with a Chinese woman, your kids are learning Mandarin now. Whereas if you get with someone of your own nation, the culture's the same, man. Now what happens now? Your child grows up a little confused now because your child grows up not knowing what culture to follow. Your child grows up thinking, do I follow my Chinese side or do I follow my black side? Do I follow this side? Do I follow that side? You confuse your own children when you do that, man. Because why? And this is why when you speak to people who's got a heathen mom and whatnot, Israelite father or whatnot, you speak to them, they say, when I grew up, I was bullied. I didn't know what to follow. I felt lost. I didn't fit in, blah, 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 blah. Whereas if you get with someone on the 12 tribe chart and you're an Israelite, guess what, man? We got one culture, man. And we're all the same. We can all watch a movie together. And when someone says nigger in the movie, imagine this, you're with a white woman and you go around to a family house to watch a movie and they put on the movie and someone says nigger in the movie, the whole family's looking at you like, so you're the only nigger in the room, you're going to feel out of place, man. Meanwhile, if you're with your own people and they say nigger on the TV, guess what? We're all niggers, man. Imagine you have to go there and eat some watered down food. She says, my mom said she ain't seen you for ages, come around for dinner. You go in there and the mom's giving you pork and onions. What do you eat? Pork and onions? Pork and onions and whatever white people eat, giving you canned chicken in a can. Listen, man, you get with one of these sisters on the 12 tribe charts, you ain't never going to get no chicken in a can, man. Listen, man, I've never had no chicken in a can. Why? Because my ribs are Israelite, man. So I've never had no chicken in a can, man. If my rib ever did give me chicken in a can, I would have to check what's it called, a lineage, man. Listen, I'll get the records. I'll be like the daughter of such and such, and I have to look through the lineage, man. But Israelite women ain't gonna give you no chicken in a can, man. That's a white people's thing. Read on.
God. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak the Jews'
And their
language.
children spoke half in the tongue of Ashdod, man. They were speaking other languages. And this is what happens, man. Your children grow up. Imagine this. You're a black man, get with a white woman. You have a child. Your child gets with a white woman. That child gets with a white woman. Listen, man. There's going to be no hint of you left, man. There's going to be no hint of you left, man. My kids got to stay with Israelites, man. And be with Israelites, man. So when I come back in the regeneration, man, I don't have to speak half in the language of Ashdod, man. So I don't have to come back with a heathen mom eating Chinese food, man. I don't want that, man. I want to come out the womb, jerk chicken, man. Forget that breast milk. I want that jerk chicken, man. I want to come out the womb. I want that jerk chicken there, man. Or them tacos, man. Or something, man. You get me? Listen, me and Kraf is going to Puerto Rico soon. When we're going there, we're going there, we're arranging it. Listen, we're going to Puerto Rico soon, man. We're going to Puerto Rico, and then we're going to Mexico. We're going to Mexico, man. Listen, man. What's the Mexican hat called? What's the hat called?
The sombrero.
What's it called?
Sombrero, one.
What's it called? A sombrero.
Sombrero, yeah.
Sombrero. Listen, I'm going there in a sombrero. Listen, man.
Sombrero.
Listen, I'm working on learning how to speak the language. I'm learning on how to speak the language, man. I got an app, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna speak to them through the app. Obviously, I can't tell you what I'm gonna say through the app. Obviously, I'll tell you another day. Read on. Just know soon you're gonna see me in Puerto Rico and Mexico. I'm gonna be there real soon. I'm gonna be holding class from there. What's that called? The Cibero. I'm gonna be in a Cibero. Read on.
But according to the language of each people.
And they spoke in the language of each people, man. They spoke in the language of the heathens. Read on.
And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them.
And he smoked certain of them, man, because he had a zeal, man, saying, yo, you're breaking God's laws. Read on.
And plucked up their hair and made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons.
And he was quoting the law in Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
No, take their daughters unto your sons.
And listen, man, we ain't meant to be welcoming them. Read on.
Or for yourselves.
Read on.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these?
Says, did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things, man? Solomon sinned by these things. Read on.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him.
Listen, man, Solomon was the wisest man in the earth, and these women caused him to sin. And you think they're not going to cause you to sin? You, a man that failed every exam he's ever taken, a man that's failed every exam he's ever taken, a man got put back 2 years, a man that had to do 2 extra years. You think they're not going to cause you to sin? Come on, man. Don't be so simple. Solomon was a lot wiser than you was, and outlandish women caused him to sin. And you're a man that couldn't pass a B.Tech exam. What do you think they're going to do to you, man? They're going to cause you to sin also, man. If they can cause the wisest man to sin, what do you think is going to happen to you? Read on.
God, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all.
And God made him king of all. Listen, it's over. I'm up on the time. We have to wrap it up because me and Crawford, like I said, we're going to Mexico. We're going to Mexico and Puerto Rico in a bit, so we're going to wrap it up. We're going to do the announcements and the Lord's Prayer, and we're out of here.
Okay, I.S.U.P.K duty announcements. With the I.S.U.P.K started out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanna. A rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months which the brother and sister will call each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3 and 8 to 10. Means tenthly equal ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocations
To be announced.
is to be announced. Or after check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and headscarf. And we got I.M.A.D. We stand. The right to face the east. And the Lord's Prayer, Abanaw, Shabbat, Shemayim, Rajah, Hayah, Shankar, Yahweh, Malak, God, Hayah, Aisha, Barak, Hayah, God, Shemayim, the Funny, the Cup, Cow, Yawah, Wa Salak, Kabawak, Kasalak, Kawabak, Wala Zabi Aina, Wala Say One, Abo, Hawashina, Mayan, Right, Kayak, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Waha'ala, Iwalam, Aman.
In the English, our Father,
Our Father,
art in heaven,
hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done,
Thy will be done.
in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts,
And forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors,
as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
from
evil.
evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
forever.
So be it.
So be it. And with that, we only need one case to suit the teacher. Men of Israel, I'm Madam Shabbat, I'm Madam Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Brakadar,
Yahweh Hashem Yashai B'Kafam.
Yajamata, and class dismissed.